There we go. I think you might be able to hear me now. I think my microphone might have been muted. Can you just let me know if you can hear me? There we go. We've got some volume now. Wonderful. Okay. So, quick drink. Just spent the last 20 minutes talking to myself, literally, because my microphone was muted in my settings. That's always good to know. Nice that someone's popped in to see me. Who knows, we might see Blaine again. I doubt it. But, let's see. I've got everything running through my, well, I've got my chat going through my tablet next to me, so I should be able to see what's coming through, even though it should still come up on my PlayStation. It's just easier for me to see the whole chat. That was better, but still not the best I've managed. Let's drop that down to 3. So, oh, that was way too early on the break. Yeah, that's not even going to be first. Okay. Let's give it one more go, and then we'll move on to Sector 2, because we've already managed to get gold here, so there's no point in spending a long time in trying to get gold, faster gold, where I've already managed gold in this sector. So, let's move on to Sector 2. We're almost at the top of my friends' rankings. Let's see what timers we need to get here. So we need to be mid 36, no, high, low 37s, high 36s for this one. Now I know that for me this is one of my weaker sections of the track, the little twisty sections. So we need to try and improve on this area here. That's not a bad exit through there. That was a very bad exit. I had to drop down to first gear to get it turned. Let's brake a little bit. Brake to get it slowed down for the corner here. And then let's see if we're on track. We'll certainly get silver. No, bronze. That wasn't quite what we were hoping for, but it's a good target time. So let's see where we were, see if we can't improve here at all. So there we go, we're catching the ghost a tiny little bit. That was definitely a better exit there. Oh, that wasn't. This is definitely one of my more favourite tracks. I'm not very strong at it, but I do enjoy this track. On the daily races I've haven't played an actual daily race yet on the most recent one, but when I've been playing before, I usually go with the Viper. Because that's a nice, it's generally quite a decent car. It's fast, it's good in the corners. Oh, that wasn't great. Just let that bin it. Let's see what we got here. Overlay options. That's fine. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to stream for today. This is more of a bit of a test run, I guess, and just see whether we can get some interest. But at the end of the day, I'm not very good. It is all about trying to improve, maybe make some, I wouldn't say friends, but make some acquaintances along the way, meet some new people, get some, maybe get some advice as we go through. I've already had some advice from Blaine today, which I don't seem to be taking it on board very well, but hey. So he did say I'm pushing too hard, so that's a nice bit of advice. It's all about being a bit smoother, I guess. So if anyone has any more advice or any advice of how I can improve, I will greatly take it on board. Good afternoon to the person who's just joined me. I can't see who it is, unfortunately, but I'm still working out all the kinks. As you can see, I'm not particularly great at the moment. I've only managed to get silver on Deep Forest for this Sector 2. But, oh, went too deep. Wasn't paying enough attention there. I might just bin it into the walls just a little bit quicker to get started on the next one, rather than trying to get all the way around when I know I'm not going to get a good time. That's not a bad exit there. It's not great, but it's not bad. Whoops, a bit of oversteer there, a little bit too much on the steering input. Way too wide there. That's not going to be a good time either. Well, we got silver, but I still need to improve by just over half a second somehow. Let's try it. Just a little bit less on the throttle going in. Oh, that was silly. Should not have dropped down to first gear there. That was a very, very silly move. How are you on this very fine afternoon? Please feel free to say hi. I don't bite. Not unless you ask me to. Wasn't a great exit there at all. Trying to work out all these streaming settings and everything. Just trying to see if I can see who is watching. I don't think I can. Not until you've messaged in the chat anyway. Obviously don't feel you need to. It'd just be nice to know who it is that's in our channel this afternoon. As you can see, I'm not very good at the moment. I've only got about a year on Gran Turismo and about the same length of time using a wheel. Before, we've only ever been on a control pad, so I've been playing mostly Formula 1 games for, well, a very long time, longer than I'd like to admit. But again, only ever on control pad, and it's a much different beast actually having a steering wheel and pedals in front of you. That wasn't a great exit. It's trying to work out keeping it on the road while I'm trying to talk as well. At the very least, we can try and show some people what not to do on the Deep Forest tracks. That's not too bad. Not great, but it's a little bit better. There we go. That's a slightly better exit there as well. Oh, that's so very close. We're almost there. We are almost in the gold time. We need to get 1/10 of a second somewhere. To the viewer, do you play Gran Turismo yourself, or are you just popping in to say hi? Whee! Let's just go into the wall. It's just a nice quick way of getting through to the next one. Wasn't the best exit there. Ease around the corner. Hard on the throttle. Quick brake. No, no, that didn't end up very well, did it? That was not a very good one there. Ooh, that was me just not paying attention there. So, a little about me. Obviously, as you can probably glean from the name of the channel, my name is Will. And this is going to be a channel basically just dedicated to me playing games. Probably mostly Gran Turismo, maybe the occasional other game, but I spend a lot of my time playing GT7. I do race in occasional leagues, and I might stream those every now and then on a Wednesday evening. And we've lost our viewer, but that's fine. What time are we on? 2:30. 2:30 on a Tuesday afternoon. Can't really expect any real viewers on a afternoon like this, but who knows? We might get lucky and get someone who's a little bit of a good luck charm, maybe help us get to gold. If on the off chance you do like what you're seeing, which is unlikely, but who knows, seeing someone improve might be your sort of thing. If it is, please give us a like and a follow. Otherwise, just let other people know. It might help them to see other people's streams. People might get some tips from other people in stream. do keep checking my tablet next to me because I'm streaming directly from a PS5 and it seems to be a little bit behind with telling me whether I've got anyone coming in and watching or not. So I just keep checking every now and then just to see whether we can make sure that I'm not missing anyone who's popping in to say hi. So we're certainly getting close. So I need to gain about a 10th somewhere. Good afternoon, anyone who wants to pop in and say hi. As you can tell, I'm based in the UK. If you're in the UK as well, just say hi. If you're not, also say hi and let me know where you're from. Be nice to see where we're being, where we've got friends from around the world. Please do say hi when you pop in. It'd be nice to say hello. Oh, I've got a little spider trying to join me. Well, you didn't, Mr. Spider. You go down there, please. You can go on the floor there. I'm not a fan of spiders myself. I'd rather they didn't try to join me while I'm playing my games. I don't need that kind of distractions. A couple more and then we'll see. We'll go to sector 3 and then we might pop back to here a little bit later on and see if we can't improve to gold. I think there I am taking too much curb. Okay. So we've managed silver so far, which puts me about halfway up my friends ranking. And currently that's all I've got, all I'm going to be using as a benchmark. Oh, that was way too deep an entry there. As you can see, I'm well behind the Ghost here. But let's get a time on the board. 28.837. Okay. So we need to break fair whack earlier. That's actually break earlier, like I said. Let's see if we can find a nice breaking point. Let's use the 150. 150 was probably far too early, so let's try and go about 125. Because that is not going to be a good time at all. Well, I got a silver. Too deep before I started turning there. So I just fell down in my room. Well, still in the silver, so that's something at least. Let's try breaking just before the 100 marker. 250, 200, 100, there we go. No, that was not great. That's better. It's still not perfect because I went way too wide on the exit there. Possibly a little bit better, but not by much. Still not a good exit. That was gold though, good enough for gold. But I'm not happy with the time there, so let's see if we can't get that hairpin a little bit cleaner. Not by doing that, we won't. was a bit nicer. Still not great because that ghost is flying away from us. But let's see where that gets us to. 27.857. That is not a bad time. Now if you will bear with me for just 2 minutes and I will be right back. Okay, we are back. I've turned my fan on because the room where I'm streaming is getting quite warm. So hopefully it doesn't bother you too much, anyone who comes in to join us. We are coming up for nearly an hour into the stream for now. And if you're just joining us, we are trying to improve our circuit experience times. Even though I've got gold here, as you can see, I'm still the slowest on my friends list. So we're going to carry on trying to improve that time. That was not a great start. So that's not terrible, but the exit was. Not even my best time. Let's try putting the brake balance full to the rear for this Audi R8. Nope, took that way too long. Okay, let's see if this is the one. Slightly better exit, I think. Definitely a slightly better exit there. Let's see where we're at. 27.774. That's still going to keep us towards the bottom of my friend's ranking, I do believe. There we go. Puts me up by 1. Let's see if we can't improve that again. And then we'll go back to Sector 2. That's just been that. We'll go back to Sector 2 and see if we can't get our gold on that before we go and do the full lap experience. Not so sure about that one. We're aiming for low 27.7s. That's not going to be good enough. That's not going to get us up in the ranking. Still gold, so it's not terrible. Not terrible at all. However, it's not where we want to be. This is a good one. This should be a nice one. Let's see where we can cross the line here. So I've been at. Haha. Typical, eh? We get a really good exit on that hairpin, and I don't pay enough attention to where I need to go, and bin it straight into the wall. Again, that's not a very good exit there. Let's see where this takes us. Not by much, 0.03 of a second, that's not going to be enough. 0.03 is not going to take the cookie. This one's going to be even slower. That is definitely not going to do it. Where's this going to put us? Oh, that's not good at all. Now obviously we're not going to be contending with your top drivers. Your drivers like Kirith, Rory Alexander, Sammy Snake. We are years away from being able to be anywhere near them. But if you enjoy watching these sort of streams, please do go and watch them. They're great content creators, and every little helps with all of them. They're fantastic. They give really good advice, and they do the odd charity stream. How's this going to take us? We're going to go over the line at 27.671. Remember, we're looking for low 27.65s. Just trying to get slightly higher up on my rankings board with on my friends list. Just for a bit of bragging rights between the people that I play online with in my league. That's not a bad exit. Still a bit further back than I'd like, but that'll do it. 27.506. That'll put us up midway up to my board, I think. There we go, that's what we like to see. Okay. Let's have a quick drink and then we'll go back to Sector 2 and see if we can't improve our sector time for Sector 2 before we go to the LAF attack. I do hope everyone's been keeping nice and safe in this hot weather. Certainly here in the UK we've had some unseasonably hot weather. So it's definitely not been fun. I'm quite fortunate with where I work. I don't work somewhere that's fully enclosed, well it is fully enclosed, but I'm nice and set back from all the sun, so it stays quite cool. So there's actually been times when I preferred to be at work than at home because it's nice and cool there, even though we don't have air conditioning. Because for our American friends, where air conditioning is commonplace in the homes, in the workplaces, in the UK we're not really designed for that because we're not used to getting that type of heat. So it's not something that we generally manage. Evaporative coolers and things like that are probably the closest we get to air conditioning in the UK. You do get the occasional air conditioning in businesses and offices, but around the home it's just not really feasible. It costs so much money. UK homes were always built to retain the heat rather than to keep the cool air in. No matter what we do, we cannot seem to get up into the gold here. And that is not going to do it. So let's bin this one off and try again. Let's just Yep, that was not great. as you can see, we're not particularly good. But we're improving. I'm a better driver than I was this time 6 months ago. This isn't a bad sector so far. It's not fantastic, but it's not terrible. It's probably going to get silver if I'm lucky. Just about in the silver. Not even my best. I was less than a tenth of my best. Yeah, that's... Okay. Whoops. Yeah, I can write this sector off. So we're going to be live for about maybe another hour at best. Because unfortunately, being an adult means you have to do things rather than sit playing games all day, because unfortunately this isn't my job. This is just me messing around. Just giving this streaming thing a go. Wasting some bandwidth, because why not? Now we've still only managed silver, but let's see what we can do on the lap attack. So we're looking for probably 1 minute 26s we're looking for. I'm not expecting to get gold on the first couple of runs. There's a nice clean exit there. It's definitely this middle sector that is costing me all of my time. I'm definitely not too good through these tunnels. Let's see if we can make the time up, if we can get round. No, didn't quite make the corner. One thing I have discovered that I was doing for the longest time is I was coming down through the gears far too fast, which was not giving the engine braking enough time to really do anything at all. So I've discovered that using the engine braking is really useful depending on what you're trying to do. was not a good exit. That was not a bad exit. Let's see where we can get this lap to. Not the best exit I could have had there. If I can get silver on this lap, I think I will be lucky. That's not bad for a first run. Less than a 10th off for a first run off gold, so that is not bad. Let's see where we can make up that time. Time is probably in the middle section, which is my Achilles heel currently. Okay, that's not a bad exit there. That was a bad exit. Let's drop down to first, just help the car rotate a little bit. Yeah, this is not going to be a good lap again. I'm behind the Ghost, even in the second sector here. Let's see if we can finish strong. No, clearly not, because that was a very bad exit there. Let's see where we're at. Let's guess 127s? Nope. Not terrible, not terrible. For me anyway. Let's drop brake balance a bit. See if that makes any difference. That was a bit too late coming both on and off of the brakes there, but the exit wasn't terrible. As you can probably tell, I'm not a car driver in real life. I've maybe had one or two very small lessons, but I ride a motorbike usually just for pleasure when I can be bothered to get all my gear on. I was not paying attention there at all. That's a very bad exit there. This is going to be a very, very bad lap. Well, it was better than I was expecting, but still not a great lap. A very bad exit of turn one. Not paying attention there, let's just let it bin it. We've managed to get very, very close to gold, so let's see if we can't manage to get the goal all together. Just before we go and maybe do an AI race. And just focus on Deep Forest for today without going online, without doing we don't necessarily want to do a sports mode race at the moment. We've only recently got our ranking up to C, so I don't want to ruin that. Managed that with the Le Mans races last week. I did manage a full pole position, fastest lap, clean race and win at Le Mans in the hypercars last week, so that was quite fun and very unexpected. But the attrition rates last week in the Daily Race C were crazy. I had races where every single person increased their driver rating ever so slightly because only 8 people finished the race out of a possible 16. So that was showing you just how bad the attrition rates were last week. But it was a fantastic race. All day night cycle, random weather in the hypercars at Le Mans. You can't really get much better than that. If you pop in, let me know what's your favourite track and car combination. It'd be quite interesting to find out where everyone likes to race. I know I'm pretty much talking to myself at the moment, but it's good practice for if we do get some viewers coming in to watch us. And I'm used to talking to myself anyway. I don't have many people I speak to on a regular basis, so it's just nice to just chat with people every now and then. Just keeps the black dog at bay. The internet isn't always the nicest place to be. Just having a place where you can just go hang out and just talk to like-minded people is always a nice place to be. I don't currently have a capture card or anything like that, so I can't really hook my PlayStation up to the computer and add a camera on me or anything, but maybe if this takes off, if I enjoy doing it, maybe I'll add a camera at a later time. I do have most of the equipment, just not a capture card. And though they're not expensive currently, there's no point in me purchasing one if I don't need to. If we don't get people watching, if we don't get subscribers, then there's no point in me spending money on something that is probably just a short-term fascination that I hyperfixate on for a couple of weeks and then drop like a bad habit. Certainly not something that I'm going to turn into a money-making thing at all. I have no interest in that at the currently. Don't get me wrong, it would be nice, but I'm not in any I know we're not going to get anywhere near that. I might as well bin that into the wall. But everyone has to start somewhere, don't they? If you do pop in, don't forget, say hi. Just let me know where you're watching from. Remember, be kind. You don't know what people are going through in their own lives. Let's make this a nice place to just sit and chill, eh? Taking too much of the curbs there, which is slowing me down. Not a bad exit at all. I think I came on the throttle or on the up to second gear a little bit quicker, a little bit too quick, and then ended up going over the line. That was not great.
It's annoying when someone is critical of what you're doing, but don't overbrake, please. It just ruins the flow.